the U.S. government wants you to be in a hateful state, so that way they could like bank off of your energy and be able to keep a position of power. Because in that position of hate, you look for things that would gratify you in an instant, aka that's you playing addiction games, or you playing into like some jealous situationship type of energy, where like you think something that you can partake in outside of you is like your salvation, so to say. And then once you're in that space, then they could do whatever you want, whatever they want, the government. And then you just take that as a means of like, okay, this is the way things are. Okay, this is just like because you're just used to being a taker, so to say. This would be like, I'm talking about a hateful person right now, or somebody that has hate in them that they want to like impose upon other people. Because even in like relationships and shit, like once you look at somebody as like a salvation, so to say, then it's like there's something that you don't like about yourself that you're running away from, and then it's only a matter of time before you start hating that person too, hating on the quality that they have. And then pretty much like once you're in that space, like you just be hating on yourself, really. Because like whatever thing you hate about them, that's just like something you're projecting onto them that's a piece of you type of shit. And really, you can't even blame, or you can blame the person for not realizing that, right? However, to even be in such a space, their mind had to have been trained to see the external as something to gratify them, and not necessarily something that helps them. And this starts at a young age. You can even like the school, the way that the schooling system is ran, aka you get a good grade and you get a pat on the back, and like from the school and shit, or like from your parents. They want you to do good in life, but the parental concept of life, if they're in the confines of like how things are ran within societal standards and shit like that, then it's like they will reward you for being externally focused. And anything that, because once a person is trained to be in this type of mind state that I'm talking about, once somebody else comes around, when they're sparking off new life, like shit that's true to them, it won't land right for the person that is beneath hella shit, that is beneath like things of the world, aka, well, I gotta do this because I have to be an upstanding citizen, or I have to go pay my taxes, or I gotta get my tag and shit, my fucking vehicle inspection tag, right? And like that shit, it'll put, like, if you don't necessarily want to do that, right, it puts you in a state of like not necessarily being your like most joyous, like exuberant self, because like, oh, I gotta go take care of this, or I gotta, so it's like you gotta like, I'm freestyling this. That's like an after effect type of thing. Like basically like you get like you get drunk, and then the next day you gotta tend to yourself in the hangover phase, right? It's the same type of shit. Like you got hyped because you wanted to get a car, right? Like all the places I could go, all the things I could do, right? And then you figure out like, oh, I gotta do all this extra shit. Oh damn, I gotta change my car battery every now and then. Oh damn, I gotta change more oil. Oh damn, I gotta, shit doesn't come with like without I was gonna say repercussions, but that's not necessarily the word I wanted to say. It's more so like there's always responsibilities to things, right? I kind of lost my point, but yeah, while caring about those things that like aren't necessarily like so rooted in like what you would naturally want to be doing with your time, right? But see, like, yeah, it'd be hard to even say that, because like if you're coming to a person that that doesn't want to or hasn't tried to make a home where their natural impulses are, and when I say natural impulses, I don't necessarily mean like things that are trauma signatures. I mean things that like would naturally make you feel alive, naturally make like something that just makes you be like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, you know? And that stays in that fuck yeah space. Meaning, because like a trauma signature, aka that would be like you starting a relationship based upon like you wanted to appear a certain way, right? In the moment, you might say fuck yeah because you just lost in thought. You're lost in what you think is going on. But then once you go back to your own space, then you hit the space of like, oh damn, but should I really be doing this though? Oh, but what about or you'll like be thinking about like if the other person is like worthy or not to be in that space you're in, type of shit. But even then, that would be like a fabricated sense of like an ego type of shit. Meaning like you're building yourself up to be something, and then when it comes time to like exert that, like the proper steps haven't been taken for you to like fully flesh out that character, and then it produces that hate within you, and then you're like, oh no, but they don't get me though. Nah, they don't get me. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, so like that fuck yeah, it doesn't stay. It doesn't stay. The fuck is that, fucking train? Oh, there was a train on the road. But it was like one of them water shits. But yeah, because whenever you're in like a hateful space like that, and it can be like inklages of it, meaning like when I say a person in a hateful space, you don't necessarily have to be somebody that's being a dick to everybody, right? In order to be in that space, you could appear to be like a sociable person and like able to like maneuver through life and shit in like a easeful manner. Maybe easeful wasn't the right word. Like basically with like on some like Venus shit. Like you're just able to be like have hella or able to be charismatic, right? Like you just know how to play shit. aka be like a manipulator. You know what the fuck I'm trying to say. But like you can still hold like a percentage of hate within you at that space, and then it's like you're more apt to be putty in a person's hand, right? In this context we're talking about is like government shit. Just like how if you got that if you got any little bit of hate, it don't matter the headline in the news, bro. You're gonna find a way to like be fucked up about it. Whereas if you like have something like you genuinely care for, aka the impulse of life that I've been talking about, the thing that makes you be like, oh fuck yeah, I want to go do that, you ain't even gonna give like a second thought to the shit that's on the news. You're gonna be like, oh what? Oh okay, let me go do this shit then. You know, I like to draw a lot, so it's like, oh, I'm gonna go draw instead of like worry about this shit that ain't even really like if I look around outside, I don't see no shit going on like that. Like, and that bro, any type of like, this is why like the protests and shit, like the ICE and shit. But first off, I don't necessarily fuck with ICE. I don't necessarily fuck with the way the government is ran in general. But like, just to like play devil's advocate, and it's not even really playing devil's advocate, because like, anyways, I'll just say it. But like, if immigrants are here in the United States illegally, which that whole concept is synthetic and false to begin with, so everything I'm about to say right now, it could get wiped away if like things were ran in a different manner, right? Cause all right, I'm just about to say hella different points right now. So like, whenever, okay, so if a quote unquote illegal immigrant is in the United States, right? They know the game that the United States government plays, aka once they get found, they actually gonna get deported, right? So it's like, if that's in the head of an immigrant, I don't think they're gonna be like, oh no, but why is it like this? Like, you know what? Like they know the game that they was playing, right? And two, like, in my mind, that's like how they would logically think. And like, and most immigrants, like, at least that I know, like different Mexicans and shit that came over illegally, like, they be chill. Like, so this type of thought process is probably what the fuck goes on in their head. Like, it's just like, oh, it is what it is type of shit, you know? The only people that I see will be getting mad about that shit is like people whose families are already over here, you know? Or like, maybe their family, they're over here legally, but like maybe a family member got deported or some shit, right? And I can see why they're mad about that. I understand that. But shit should be ran in a way that's like, that shouldn't even be a problem, right? Because the government like paints the US as like some type of like heaven or like haven, right? So people want to come over here, right? Because they paint it that way, right? I mean, it's cool. Like, you go to the store and, but like, look around and have like, damn, I could buy like 30 different bags of chips, right? But remember what I said earlier, the government wants you to be in that, just that feed me type of energy, because that's what they bank off of. Because once you're in that feed me type of energy, you're not constructing a life that is like, a weird ass fucking bug right there. Look at that. But, I don't know if you saw it, but you're not constructing a life that is like something that like really nourishes you, right? So by default, when you're in that space, you could produce hate within yourself just because you know that you're able to be capable of more than what you're currently doing, right? And then and even in that space, that could lead to like different health problems and shit like that, leading you to be in the labyrinth of the healthcare system in the United States. And then even then, that could get to like cesspool energy, like, because what you do whenever you're in the hospital, fucking hospital bed and shit, you just like sit there and watch the TV type of shit. And what's most old people that watch the TV for? What the fuck was that sentence? What do most old people watch the TV for? The news and shit. So the old person just sitting in that bitch watching the fucking news, fucking rotting away in the fucking bed, getting pumped up with drugs to try and like have some like immortal life pointed to where they're at, right? They're just trying to stagnate, being like find a false homeostasis. Damn. The government wants you to be in a false homeostasis. So with this picture painted, right? Having a person want to, or coaxing or coercing a person to want to participate with this, by default only breeds like some malignant individuals. I don't know if that's a word or not, but it's like some people that just want to do bad, right? Which they don't really want to, but like just based upon the allotments of energy that they carry, those would be the actions that they will push out, right? The shit's just fucked up in them, so the shit that they do outwardly is gonna be fucked up too, right? So like getting shit and changing it at that root level of teaching having in the schooling system the way to honor things on an internal sense and build them outwardly, as opposed to, oh, I have to do this outward thing so in order for me to be a upstanding citizen, or in order for me to be accepted into the culture that is like around me type of shit, right? Instead of being like praising individuality in like the schools and just like in a people in general, like across like a culture type of shit, really, because really the American culture is just fucking like Venus shit and Mercury shit, and then by default like Venus turns to Mars type of shit whenever your pleasures are no longer pleasurable. So now you have to go deeper into it. You got to go deeper into it. You got to go deeper into it to the point where you might fucking go stab that dude over there because they got what you want. You know, that's a grave example, but like that should be happening on like a quote unquote minor level, aka that would be like cutthroat energy in like business circumstances, right? Like snake energy, right? Whereas they may not hurt you physically, but their actions show that they don't care about you and that they're only trying to get some type of gratification and like satisfaction from like things outside of them in order to soothe wherever they're at and not necessarily grow. And that's the biggest problem, not some fucking protest where you got to go and march and shit and be like, no more immigration. No. That's where the combat really is. So with that being said, I gotta do my part. Peace. I gotta go do my. I've been stuttering, bro, today. I don't know, bro. It's like just getting more into my stamping energy. Just being where I'm at. Yep. Peace.